Okay.
So the zip file will look like this. Okay, this is unzipped version basically. When you unzip it, you will see this one. Okay, if you
Okay.
double click open here, you will be
Mm-hmm.
seeing plenty of libraries and supporting files and all. Okay,
Okay.
so and if you see at the bottom there are two icons. Okay, which
Mm-hmm.
type is application.
Mm-hmm.
So this is for operating system 32 and this is for operating system 64.
Right.
So you will just create a shortcut for this so that it
Mm-hmm.
will be available in the desktop. You double
Mm-hmm.
click it, it will open the Talent. And
Mm-hmm.
before going to that, there is a place called workspace. Okay. So
Okay.
this workspace is something like it's a brain to Talent.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So like whatever you do on Talent will be saved here. Okay.
Okay.
So these are
Mm-hmm.
all the parameters and in this workspace.
Okay.
Okay, so workspace is a place where the information that you created in Talend will be saved.
Okay.
And this .java and .jet
Mm-hmm.
emitters and the metadata and all are supporting things for your Talend. Okay,
Like?
so like whatever the process that you created, okay, those
Mm-hmm.
libraries will be saved here.
Okay. Uh-huh.
Uh, and the metadata will be saved here and there will be some plugins. If you go here you will see something like uh, so administrator, so it will save all the supporting files. See, generally what happens is when you develop something means you are writing a Java code. The Java
Exactly.
code will be like, it will be saved in the form of dot libraries or some dot extensions. Okay,
Right.
and so that information will be saved in here.
Okay.
So that's why the workspace is hot here. So and this is these files which are showing outside, right? These files
Mm-hmm.
are for the purpose of supporting the Talent to function.
Okay.
The difference is here it will save the information of what you created, and here the
Mm-hmm.
information about what actually Talent is intended for. The Talent's functionality, user interface, what you see,
Okay.
what
Mm-hmm.
you grab. So all that information will be here. We'll have
Mm-hmm.
plugins and some other configuration settings and all. These are all given by Talent.
Okay. Okay. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this is about it. So now what I'm going to do is I'll just open Talent. So when you double click here, it's
Mm-hmm.
going to open the application which is Talent. It will show you the version and the
Okay.
name here.
Mm-hmm.
So and when you start opening here, so what it will happen is it will sync up with all this stuff and it will
Okay.
show like this. Okay, so
Okay.
this is the place where the projects that I have created are available. You can see here and you
Okay.
can select either of them.
Okay. Right.
And you can create a new project if you want, and you can
Mm-hmm.
import an existing project from
Mm-hmm.
somewhere which has been given to
Mm-hmm.
you, and you can import a
Mm-hmm.
demo project. Demo project will come internally with Talent, which will give you some basic information about how to create jobs and all. And now we
Okay.
have connection here. This connection is
Mm-hmm.
here. It is showing as local. Okay,
Okay.
because
Mm-hmm.
my system, my laptop is the a client and server. Both are this one
Right.
because this is the Open
Right.
Studio. And if you are
Right.
having the licensed version, you will be having another one saying remote. Now it is local,
Okay.
and you will see remote.
Okay.
That if you select
Okay.
remote means you are actually accessing the jobs which are stored in some place. I'll explain that when we talk a little about the Talent Integration Studio and its operations. Okay.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And if you click on manage connections, it will open one window. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so this window has some information, and here you can change the workspace if you want. You can change the workspace. Okay,
Okay.
that
Mm-hmm.
means you can tell this one, boss, what I'm gonna create, you store in this
Mm-hmm.
place, and try
Okay.
to work from there for these kind of projects.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And this is the repository. Here also you will have local, and if you see remote here, then you will
Mm-hmm.
be seeing uh, one field for entering password. Okay,
Okay.
that
Mm-hmm.
means that you can enter the password to access or authenticate yourself into the repository.
Okay. Got it.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so this is Talent. So now let me open one blank project which I have created. Okay, and this option always ask me at startup means if you check this box, this window will be
Mm-hmm.
opened every time, so
Okay.
that it will give you the flexibility of selecting the project. And if you
Projects.
want to, if you are working on a single project, then you don't need to check this one. If you uncheck this one, and
Mm-hmm.
it will open every time the last project that you have selected.
Right. Okay.
And here it is like if you want to connect to Talent Forge. Talent Forge is a place where you can post your questions. It's a community kind of thing. You'll get the answers for those questions from talent experts now. You can register
Okay.
it or you can
Okay.
skip this step.
Okay. Okay.
I hope I'm making sense, Sunil. Please stop me if
Yeah,
you
you're
get
making sense. So, Gordon, why don't you create one project on my name and every day we can visit that project?
this is for you only, training module. Okay.
Training module. Okay.
Yeah. So now what it's doing is it's synchronizing the libraries like I was showing you these folders, right? So
Mm-hmm.
org eclipse,
Mm-hmm.
okay. So all these are the supporting files and class path containers, method functions. So all this will be synced up and it will open you one GUI.
Okay. Right. You are recording the session, right, Gordon?
What happens is from tomorrow onwards I'll send you the recordings. Okay?
Today you can't give me the recording?
No. But don't
Today,
worry,
I mean,
I'll try to record this one in some other class and I'll give it to you. Okay.
okay, fine.
So here you see generation engine initialization is in progress. That means it is setting up this, JRE, Java Runtime Environment, ready for you to do the things here. So unless
Okay.
it is in progress, it's better not to touch anything because
Mm-hmm.
you may have to wait for some time. Now it's
Okay.
gone. So now its interface is ready to access. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
So now you will see one window here. Okay. I mean one page I can say. So
Mm-hmm.
where you are having multiple places repository
Okay.
and this is just to create jobs and all, you can just close this.
Okay.
So one repository area and this is the development area and this
Mm-hmm.
is the palette from which you
Mm-hmm.
will drag and drop the components
Mm-hmm.
and this will be available if you open a job. If you open
Okay.
a job then only it will be visible. And you
Okay.
have something like outline parameters and code
Mm-hmm.
viewer and
Mm-hmm.
this is the place where you can speak, where you can tell the component what it has to do.
Okay.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so now let's go one by one. Now here it is local
Mm-hmm.
and this is the project name. Okay,
Right.
this is going to be local because my system is the client and server.
Right.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
and it's gonna be some name. If you are using a licensed version, that name is one of the branches in the SVN repository. Just please make a note of SVN, subversion repository. I will talk about that later. Okay.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
So now what happens is this is the repository section where
Mm-hmm.
you can develop the jobs in job designs.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And you can create some context files. I'll explain about them one by one. Okay.
Okay.
So like we discussed yesterday,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna just to show you this how this looks like and how you understand the what you're seeing. Then
Mm-hmm.
tomorrow onwards we'll work on the components.
Okay.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the place where job designs. You will develop a job just
Mm-hmm.
by right clicking.
Mm-hmm.
Right click here and create job.
Okay.
Okay. If you say create job, it will ask you for one, what you have to enter a job name. You will
Mm-hmm.
say my first job.
Okay.
And you can give the purpose and description.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And when you create the first time, it's going to be the version 0.1. And you
Right.
can, if you click this M,
Mm-hmm.
capital M, it's going to change this 0 to 1 and 2
Mm-hmm.
and 3 and so on. And if you click small m, it's going to be changing this one, 1 to 2, that after decimal point. Okay. So now let's
Okay.
see like this. See here.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. Got it.
Okay. Now I'll
Mm-hmm.
say finish.
Mm-hmm.
So as soon as I open the job, just see the change, how this palette changes. Okay.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
This palette will now show you the list of components that are available for you to put in this development area.
Awesome. Okay.
Okay, so now you'll be having recently used components and
Mm-hmm.
lot of other components. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
and those are actually segregated into different folders, I can say.
Okay.
Okay, so these are the folders. So these are all the folders in which the components will be available based
Mm-hmm.
on their nature.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Now what happens is when you create a first job, okay, this is the place from which you can drag and drop some components here, link them, or if you know the component name very well, you can just type it here. So enter and it will show you that component.
Okay.
Okay, and there is another way that if you are not aware of the component, then what you will do is you will probably go to things and you will check the components. And there is another way here, just click here and type the component name T Java. Enter. It will give you the component here.
Okay.
Okay. So this is how we create a job. Now, if you delete this one, these properties are not available. If you put something here, then double click, you will see the settings of it. Okay.
Right.
We'll talk about them. First, let me finish this repository part. Okay.
Okay.
So now what happens is when I right click on the job designs, I'll be able to create a job like I did, and I'll be able to create a folder so that I can differentiate the jobs based on their nature and based on the type of the data that they are carrying. I can expand and collapse this folder if there is any folder, and build job, export items and import items. So build job, see, I'll open a notepad just to. So what happens is I have build job and I have export items, okay, and I have import items.
Okay.
So what happens is when you build the job, okay, when you're building a job, that means you are exporting and saving the zip file of a particular job, okay, particular job with or say in compiled mode.
Okay.
That means whatever you are building the job means it will take you all the compiled code and that is ready for the execution.
Okay.
Okay. And if you say export items, okay, it will export those items which are used in the job.
Okay.
And that related code, that related Java code. Now what happens is I have developed some job, I'll make use of export items and I'll give it to you so that you can put it in your Talent Studio and you can work on that.
Right.
Okay. So the code, the Java that is available in your laptop will synchronize with it.
Right.
But when I give this one, okay, you can just take a batch file out of it and execute it in a Windows scheduler. You can schedule that, or you can execute the job in Unix, provided you have Java in your machine.
Okay.
And another difference is that when you say build job, okay, let us suppose in this job you have used one context file, context group, or one code and one metadata and all. Okay, all those things will be exported.
Okay.
All I can say all the dependencies are exported.
Okay.
I can say are built. Okay, but here you will be having an option of whether you want to export with the dependencies or you don't want to do that. You just want to get the job alone.
Okay.
Okay, this is the difference between export items and import items. Sorry, export items and build job.
Okay.
Yeah. So an import items is something like when I give you the items which are exported by using exported items, you will use these import items and you will get them into your system.
Right.
Okay, and when importing the items, you will be having an option of, like, let us suppose you are working on job X. I was also working on job X. You said your code is not working. Since we are working on the same thing, I'll give my X code to you. So you will import that one. While importing, you have an option of selecting override the existing items. That means whatever you have developed will be overwritten by the code that I have given to you. Or else you can keep them as an individual entities.
Okay.
Is that clear, Sunil? Any
Yeah,
questions?
clear. Yeah, one question I have, as build job does the compiled version of the code. Actually, the build job,
Exactly.
which actually exports the zip
Hmm.
files with
Hmm.
all the dependencies, and it is in a compiled mode. I mean, like ready for
Yes.
execution.
Yes.
Whereas for the export, it
Items.
is it because yeah, it is also doing the same thing, and it's giving option also whether you want dependencies or not. The only thing I want to know is why are we not talking about compiled code there in export item?
See,
Bec-
export item is used in order to make the code portable between the studios or between the environments.
Right, right. Mm-hmm.
Okay. And build job is used to execute the build job will come into picture when you are actually having the convenience of scheduling the jobs using Talent Administration Center. Okay, Talent Administration
Scheduling.
Center is there where you can schedule the jobs. So for the scheduling purpose, you can't use export items. You just have to
Okay.
take build job, then put that one in the Talent Administration Center for the
Okay.
execution on the scheduled timings.
Okay. How about if I want to migrate the code or migrate the job at that time also can we use this facility of build job?
Migration means
Moving.
you have dev environment and you have QA environment and you have production environment. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So what happens is when you are using Open Studio, okay,
Mm-hmm.
Open Studio, which is Talent Open Studio, then you
Mm-hmm.
just have only one choice to build the job and give it to the QA and subsequently to the production. But when you
Mm-hmm.
are dealing with Talent Integration Suite,
Mm-hmm.
what is going to do is you will be getting you have to have one SVN repository. Okay.
Right,
So
right.
what happens is, which is a place where you actually whatever the jobs that you develop in Talent will be
Mm-hmm.
available there. Remember, I have shown you in the architecture that
Right. Mm-hmm.
whenever you save some job, it will be saved in the SVN repository.
Right.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
When you are dealing with SVN repository, there are three ways to actually migrate the jobs from one environment to another environment. Okay. The first
Okay.
option is sorry. First option is like you just log into SVN, okay,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
checkout, do the checkout
Mm-hmm.
so that you will get some jobs,
Mm-hmm.
okay, and you will migrate them to uh, QA
Whichever,
SVN repository, okay.
whichever is not
This
given.
is
Mm.
this is when you are having SVN repository for QA and development in two different servers.
Right.
Two different servers, okay. And the
Mm-hmm.
second option is that you have something like both the repositories in the same server.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, then what we will do is I will create two separate branches.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, two separate branches, and
Mm-hmm.
then what I will do is I will, let us suppose there is a job version which is 1.0, which I want to
Mm-hmm.
migrate to the
Mm-hmm.
QA. So
Mm-hmm.
before doing that, what I will do is I will just create a version 1.1 for
Mm-hmm.
my development purpose. If by keeping one point in the mind that in future I may have to change this, then
Mm-hmm.
I'll copy this job to
Mm-hmm.
the other branch
Okay.
of QA.
Okay.
Now
Mm-hmm.
you may ask me one question. How
Mm-hmm.
could I, I mean, what is the access control? Like you are having the same job in Dev and QA, so whoever has the access can see those jobs. So as a development guy, I will go and do screw up something in QA. Because for
Mm-hmm.
that reason, I'll be
Mm-hmm.
given a permission to access only development tree. I can say development tree or development trunk or development
Mm-hmm.
branch. Being a QA guy,
Okay.
QA guy will be able to only see the QA jobs and QA trunk or QA branch.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, another option is there where if you want to move the jobs, give the
Mm-hmm.
zip folder, give the zip
Mm-hmm.
file by building
Mm-hmm.
them.
Okay. Yeah,
Is this clear?
this is what actually I asked. The third option. For the
Okay.
migration, can we give the zip file as a build job?
You can give it, but the thing is, which you are using Open Studio or licensed version. Depending
Mm,
upon that, you will get
okay.
the things.
Mm-hmm. Okay. No, no, I'm talking about the integration one. The TIS I'm talking about.
Okay,
When
in
we have,
TIS,
yeah.
that is also one of the options. But when you're
Yeah.
working on TIS, when
Mm-hmm.
companies see, think practically, like you got one big license by investing huge money, right? So
Mm-hmm.
you wanna take the best value out of it.
Right.
Okay, that means you are having huge projects developed in it.
Mm-hmm.
So if you are having such a huge project, then maintain it in a centralized repository, having this
Right.
SVN server installed there, and maintain the jobs from there instead of doing that one from the studio, right?
Right. So you're saying like when it is in enterprise support, then have your SVN repository enabled and take the whatever backup or migration or anything from that. Don't go for zip files and all. This is for when this is only, let's use only for the scheduler part whenever is required.
Yes, and
Okay.
you can still take the zip files from the Talent integration suite
Mm-hmm.
when you are in the middle of development and you want to execute some module to quickly check the data is populating or not. For
Mm-hmm.
that purpose, you will take. There are a lot of
Okay.
options, Sunil, so people will go
Okay.
with whatever they like. Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Is this clear? Any
Yeah. Clear.
questions?
No questions.
Okay. So now, so whatever I right click here, create job we discussed, create folder, expand and collapse, build job, import items and export items.
Right.
Now let's right click on the job and see what is available here. Okay. So now
Okay.
I'll open this one. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Because these two options are not available for the first job because it is already open. Okay, that's why I'm taking this job.
Okay.
So edit job. If you click on edit job means this job will be open here, then you'll be able to do the development. You can edit
Right.
the job. And
Mm-hmm.
read the job is like, you can simply read the job. No, you can't edit anything.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and open another version. If you click on this one, now I have created a version one job here on this date.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now if I want to maintain another version of the job,
Mm-hmm.
I can create new version and I can increase the version here like capital M and small m that I have shown you earlier.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So
Mm-hmm.
what it's going to do is it will open another version of the job. Now let's make it point 2. Okay. And
Mm-hmm.
say finish. Now see the job has been changed to point 2.
Right.
Okay. That is how you can change the versions of the job.
But how
The
about the
versioning
previous version?
previous version in studio you can't do anything. It will be overwritten. Okay. But if it is in the SVN repository Talent Studio, then you will
Mm-hmm.
have that version of the job in the SVN repository.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. So now right
Okay.
click on the job, you'll say edit job, you can read job and you can open another version and open job hierarchy. If you click
Mm-hmm.
on this one, you will be seeing but now since we have only two jobs and this job has not been used in any of the flows, okay, nothing will be shown. But the open job hierarchy is something like if you want to see the job in a big flow of the jobs, where it has
Okay.
been allocated, where it has been located, that things can be seen here.
Okay.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And set up routine dependencies is something like sometimes what happens is you may have to write Java code
Mm-hmm.
because you are not able to achieve some kind of specific logic using the components available in Talent Studio. In that case, what
Okay.
you will do is you will just go to code and you
Mm-hmm.
have routines here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and right click here and you will create a routine where
Okay.
you can write the Java code. And you
Okay.
want to use the Java code in this job.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you will say set up routine dependencies.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and this is user routines. That means the routines which are written by the developers. Just click
Okay.
on that symbol, it will show you the routines available in this section. You see only one routine is there which is
Right.
created by me. So I can select
Right.
that and I can import it so that if I call this routine in these jobs at some point, then it
Mm-hmm.
will identify that okay, go then link me with another routine. Let me go and check there and get the code from there.
Okay.
And we have edit properties. It's like editing the name and purpose, description and all.
Mm-hmm.
And we can delete the job. If you delete the job will be available in the recycle bin. Okay.
Okay.
But if you delete the job from here, you can't
Mm-hmm.
retrieve it. So now let us suppose I delete it. It won't ask you whether you want to delete or not. It will directly go and sit in recycle bin.
Okay.
If you right click here, then you will be having these many options. Delete forever.
Okay.
If you click on delete forever, it will ask you. It can't be
Okay.
retrieved. You want to continue.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And if you say restore, it will go and sit in a
Mm-hmm.
place from where you have deleted it.
Right. But
Okay.
you said that it cannot be returned back to the original place.
No. If I delete from here, it will
Okay.
be here. If I delete
Okay.
forever from here, it will go permanently.
Yeah.
I click
Okay.
no here.
Okay.
If
I
I
mean, like
say
that.
yes, this job will go.
Yeah. That means you can restore the jobs again if it is in the recycle bin.
Yes.
Okay. Mm.
Yes.
Mhm.
Okay, so I'll restore it. And export item is same thing that we have discussed here.
Right.
And we have something like run job. That means without opening a job, you can run it, and you can duplicate the job,
Mm-hmm.
and you can copy the job and use it in some place, and you can duplicate the job. If you
Mm-hmm.
say duplicate, it will create some copy of test. You can give the name,
Mm-hmm.
and it will be saved here like
Right.
this. So which
Okay.
version you wanna actually select? So I said this version.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay.
So now I have this job here.
Mm-hmm.
So generate doc as HTML. Just leave it for now. I'll explain it little later. Okay.
Okay.
So export items is the same thing. So now I think you understand all the things that are there on this right clicking.
Right. The same things will be available if I click on the workspace also, right? Where my job workspace is there. There, if I click on any of the job, that time also I'll
There
get.
you can't see the job here. I mean, let us suppose this is the one that you have created.
No, no,
Okay,
no,
you
no, not
can't see the jobs.
no, no, no,
Hmm?
not this workspace. Sorry. Uh, if you go to the talent,
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking about where we have tjava underscore one job. Yeah,
This
there
one?
right click. Yeah, there right click.
No, this is different, altogether different things.
Oh, okay.
I will explain
Because
them now. I'm coming to
yeah,
that.
because this guy is now exposed to other jobs as well, so that's why this guy cannot have the same options.
The thing is here, whatever you can set at the job level, but here, whatever you are going to set at the data level
Okay.
and flow level.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the components that you are actually working here are either work on data or either work on the flow.
Okay.
Flow means like this. Okay, the flow in which they have been connected.
Right, right, right.
Okay, so now we have seen job designs, right?
Mm-hmm.
So business models are something like, if you want to give a quick flow diagram of what you are actually doing.
Okay.
So first what I will do is I'll take the input. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Then if you click like this also, you will get some stuff like this. Then I'll get the data from database also.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So like this, and you can connect them, with some kind of, so that it will give you some kind of flow diagram. The business model is given least priority here because you don't have much component to support it. You can
Mm-hmm.
draw simpler, flows here to
Mm-hmm.
what you are doing on this project, training
Okay.
talent.
Okay.
Okay, is this clear?
Yeah, this is something called like Visio, what we do.
Yes, exactly. So not of that much, use in this, but he has given just one. Okay.
Okay.
So now let's see one job. This is the job.
Mm-hmm.
This is the development area. Okay. If you see here, we have 4 tabs available.
Mm-hmm.
4 tabs. The
Mm-hmm.
component is something where you will tell this component, dear T Java, I know what you can do.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What I will tell you is, let us suppose Sunil is capable of walking.
Mm-hmm.
He walks because he has legs. He will walk. I'll
Mm-hmm.
tell him to go this way.
Mm-hmm.
That is what I'm telling to this component. I'll tell this component, you know how to walk, but walk in this way.
Okay.
So what I'm going to do is I'll write some Java code, one simpler line.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. System dot. I'm just printing some information.
Okay.
Out dot
Mm-hmm.
println. I'll say simply hello world.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. This is what I have written.
Mm-hmm.
So double click this component. This will open the component tab where you can see what you told to this component to do.
Mm-hmm.
And in the advanced settings, you can import some of the libraries. If you are using any external jars or libraries, you can import them here.
Mm-hmm.
And view is something like you can name this one, this tjava, right? You can name this one saying, uh, you know, um to print
Mm-hmm.
something like, so that it will change here. See,
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And the hint format is something like if you want this, if this component is connected with some other components, and if you want to give some kind of header.
Okay.
Okay. Connection format is row. That means you will connect this one in a row style. Okay. And documentation is something where you can add the comments saying this component will do this and all.
Okay.
And dynamic settings are this window will be opened based on the things that you do here.
Okay.
Okay, don't worry about these things. We'll just concentrate on basic and advanced.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so now this is the one. Now if you go to run tab, you will see execution and see the options also has been changed here.
Yes.
Okay, in the component it is basic settings and all. Now here it is basic run and debug run. You are dealing with lots of records and you are not actually able to identify the error in the job. Then put it in debug run. It will take time, but it will show you the record where it is actually failing. That is
Right.
trace this debug. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
and you have advanced settings where you are telling this component saying boss save the job before execution. These are all settings. Okay,
Right.
clear before run and all. Now
Mm-hmm.
target execution is something, this is only available for Java job server packages. That means when you are actually dealing with the talent integration suite, that time these options will be available for you.
Okay.
And memory run is something like when you are dealing with huge data and you wanna make use of the memory that is available in a system. Okay, and you can set up those settings here. Okay, this is really advanced stuff. So that these things will come into picture when you are having the issues in the performance side.
This memory, then I'm not clear though. Then like how it will use the memory?
If I say run here,
Mm-hmm.
okay,
Mm-hmm.
this component is just printing the data. Okay, this component is just printing the information. Okay, but when there is something like you want to uh, make use of that data at some place, or you want to store that one before you are actually processing it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, in that cases we will use this one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So it has thrown some error for
Yeah, I
me
saw that.
because
Yeah.
okay. So let us suppose I remove this one and I'll save it. There is a place called designer where we are actually doing the designing here. And if you click on code, it will show you the code of Java which has been written by putting that component there. So this is the Java code that I have written.
Okay. Oh my God.
Okay, I'm expert in Java. Okay, mind it. Okay, so now when this is not only of the component, and this involves the component design also. This
Okay.
one and all this out and all. No.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
So now if you see here, there is an error being shown. In here red mark. Okay. If you hover your mouse there, you will see one hand symbol. Okay. Then if you put like that, you will see string literal is not properly closed by a double quote. If you don't understand it, just click it. It will take you to that place
Okay.
where you are actually missing something.
Right.
So I will just double click this. I will put something like this and I'll save it. And if I go back to the code again, I'll not be able to see that error. This yellow thing is just a warning. Okay.
Okay.
This is just a warning, so you can ignore that. So now let me execute this job. So what it's going to do is it will first compile the code and it will print you the message, hello world. Okay. This is how the job is executed here.
How
In
how how
this,
did you come back to this particular development area from the code?
just here, designer and code,
Okay.
designer and code. Okay.
Okay. Got it.
And if you double click this one, it will maximize. And if you double click again, it will minimize.
Okay. Got it.
And we have something about context. We will talk about when we are speaking about this context. Okay. And we have job. It will give you the information about purpose of this job and what is the job name, who created it, what is the version of it. Okay, description and when it is created, when it is modified. And you have something like load from project settings and save to project settings, use the project settings. Okay, so what it will do is See here, the project settings are nothing but the settings here you will set up. Okay, project properties, and you'll see job settings.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, these are all the places where you can tell that what to do.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I will explain in one session about these things. Okay, but these are all we will leave them by default unless there is any necessity in a big
What
projects that
what
only we will touch these things.
what they
Okay.
exactly do? This project settings? Like for example,
Uh,
our project settings, project name is talent underscore development something.
no, these are you setting at the project level, not on the job level. Okay,
Okay.
that means you are setting on the training underscore talent.
Yeah,
You are
training
setting on this
underscore
project
talent.
level. So what I'll do is I'll just check this one, T log catcher. So what it's going to do is it will capture the information
Mm-hmm.
about the executions and it will keep for you.
Okay.
So if you check this option,
Mm-hmm.
okay, and there is a table called T log. Sorry, there is a component called T log catcher.
Mm-hmm.
So this will okay have some information. What is the process ID? What is the project? What is the job name? What are the context values? And what is the status of this one? Okay, all the things will be there. So if you want to put this information in some table, you can put it.
Okay.
Provided you check that option there, and you have this one component used here.
Okay.
Okay, we will discuss about them. When we are discussing about the components, I'll explain about them.
So
Okay.
can we put this at the later stages or before even creating any project? Before that only we need to enable
No,
this.
you have to enter into your talent
Mm-hmm.
with by connecting to a project. Without
Okay.
associating a project, you can't open this window.
Okay. So first
You have to
properties.
select a project.
Okay.
Okay.
No. I
So,
don't mean that. I don't mean
huh?
that. What I'm saying is this: if you go back to the context, not the context, edit project properties here.
Hmm.
So
You can
here we
set them
have
at any point of time.
any
Any
point.
point of time.
Okay.
Yes, any point of time.
Yeah.
Sorry, I got your question wrongly. Sorry for that. So this is what it is, and we have extra, and so this multi-thread execution is like you're telling the job to run on multiple threads. Okay, there is
Mm-hmm.
a concept of threading in Java where
Mm-hmm.
it will take multiple resources available to
Uh-huh.
get your job done. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
So implicit T context load is something when we discuss about the contextual, I'll let you know. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
These are all related. So I just want to give you touch and feel when we are discussing about the components, we will get these things. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
So if you want to set the project settings at the job level, you can
Mm-hmm.
do that here.
Okay.
And if you select this one, this
Mm-hmm.
job will use the project settings that you selected here
Selected
in
and
the
file.
file.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And we have the version also here when it is created, when it is modified, and all you will be seeing this.
Okay. So I think Gautam, you need to tell me like these kind of options what they are giving. In what scenarios we might be requiring this?
Versioning is basically used to see like how many times this job has been updated or changed. Okay,
Okay.
so
Okay.
that means if it is more means either you are getting the development request or change request many times, or
Mm-hmm.
the guy who is developing is actually not aware of what he is doing.
Okay.
Okay, so
And
that
we
kind of information.
and we have rollback options also here.
No,
Rollback.
once a
Okay.
version is created, it is created. Nobody can cheat this guy.
Okay. And how about comparing? Do we have that one? Version
Yes,
comparing?
we have compare job option also.
Okay.
Here, if you see in the jobs, you have
Mm-hmm.
this app. Okay, you will have something like just a second. Where is that option? No, comparison can be done if you have same copy of the job. Yeah, I
Okay.
think I have seen a job. Compare job option will be there. I think that is available in the licensed version, not in this.
Nice. Okay. Okay. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you understand what this, I request you to download this one and have a look whenever you finish the class and in your evening times so that you can
So,
recollect what I was saying. Just spend 20 minutes of time.
so Gautam, I already did this and installed, and what you have done is now you have explained me each item, which is really good. I have
Hmm.
installed it and I created a job, and I just thinking like what this all palette can do for me. So I did 5%, you added another 95% in it. I know, so I will once again go and reach and
That's okay.
yeah.
Yeah. So now you understand, except context, you understand everything. What this
Yeah.
job will consist of, what this run will consist of, what this component consists of and all. Yeah.
Right. Yes, 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 yes.
Okay. So now what are we going to do is we will see this context file. Okay. So
Mm-hmm.
what I'm going to do is, okay, I will go to contexts, or first we will see here. Okay. Contexts.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, for this component, you
Mm-hmm.
can't, just a second, context. For this component context, you can't give the context, that's the problem. What I'm going to do is, let me create, right click here, create context group.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, give name first context,
Mm-hmm.
say next. You just add one thing here, saying something like value,
Mm-hmm.
and give this data type as integer,
Mm-hmm.
and give a value as 30.
Okay.
And this is default environment. Now I have only one environment. This is default. I'll say save this. Okay. Now
Mm-hmm.
I'll just drag and drop this one here. I don't think for this component we can do that. Okay. Let
Were you able
me.
to drag that?
No, you can't. See, this component will not support context variables unless it propagates from some other component. That's the
Okay.
reason it is not showing here. Anyway, I'll explain about these things. Okay. So
Mm-hmm.
we can create a context group.
Mm-hmm.
We will definitely, there are three ways to load the context file, context parameters and values. I
Mm-hmm.
will show you that one in one session. Okay.
Okay.
So context group, create context group, create folder, and it's the same thing what we have here. And this is edit context group, read
Mm-hmm.
context group, detect the dependencies. If you click on this one, it will let you know where this context file is being used,
Okay.
in what are the jobs that this context group or context group is used. Okay.
What
And detect
exactly
the
the
depend
context to do? What is the purpose of context?
like now if you see here, I have given a value, okay, say
Mm-hmm.
x as
Mm-hmm.
20 30. Okay. Now
Mm-hmm.
what happens is you are using this you are using x, where x is equal to 30, where x is equal to 30 in 20 to 30 places.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now after some time your manager came and told you that the requirement has got changed, you need to execute this job for 50.
Okay.
Now what you're going to do is all the 20 to 30 places you will go and change the 30 to 50, 30 to 50, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yes.
so if you have one variable context group defined, and if you are using that context group, you will
Mm-hmm.
simply go here, okay,
Mm-hmm.
and change this value to 50.
Okay.
Now if you say finish, it will ask you, do you want to propagate the modifications to all the jobs? That
Mm-hmm.
means wherever this context group is used,
Mm-hmm.
you want to change the values everywhere. I'll say yes.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Now as of now this is not being used, that's why we are getting there is no modification needed for update.
Okay.
But if there is something, right, so all the places now will be changed with this 30,
Okay.
provided you use the parameter as x there.
Okay. So
Okay.
this is something like a global variable which is declared above all the methods and which is used in all the methods, and you're commonly changing the value so that it will be reflected in all the methods.
Yes,
Okay.
exactly.
Mm-hmm.
That is about the context group. Okay.
So in the context, can I give a name like X, Y, Z, like that, these kind of variable names, or do you want me to give a proper namings like how you give like first context 0.1? Like how we
You now
declare
see,
a
when you
variable?
see now this has come here,
Mm-hmm.
this is really crazy, buddy. So I was like this. So wow. But if I say like this, oh great.
So
Okay. Now
what
let
happens? It's
nothing, nothing. You just, you will see the context group now here. Okay. Sometimes
Mhm.
Java behaves like అపరిచితుడు. Okay.
Okay.
Seriously, కొన్నిసార్లు హ్యాంగ్ అయిపోద్ది, కొన్నిసార్లు ఓపెన్ అవ్వదు, కొన్నిసార్లు provided you are having huge, huge projects in it. Okay. Never
Okay.
mind. So now you are able to see the context file right here. So what I'm
Right.
going to do now here is, okay, I will simply type something like the
Mhm.
value. I have
Mhm.
given is,
Mhm.
now here in the context group
Mhm.
I can add something like this, okay, which I can say value, which I can say as A, okay, and I will
Mhm.
give a value as 100.
Mhm.
That means this is a variable which is pertaining to this job only, this
Right.
job only. But whatever you define in the context is applicable for all the jobs in this project.
Okay.
Whatever you define here can be used for any job, but
Okay.
whatever you define here is only confined to this job only.
Okay.
So now you can add here which are
Mhm.
limited to this job scope by
Mhm.
adding plus symbol, and you can delete by into symbol, and you
Mhm.
can navigate up and down using these arrows. Now
Mhm.
if you want to get this one here,
Mhm.
there are two ways to do that. Just
Mhm.
click this one.
Mhm.
Okay, it will show you the context group that is being created here. Whatever the context groups that are created will be shown here.
Mhm.
You can select all of them or
Mhm.
either of them from that
Mhm.
group. Now I'll
Mhm.
say okay.
Mhm.
This is how I got this one.
Right.
See, now it is grayed out. If you see here, it is grayed out.
Mhm. Mhm.
That means you can't edit here.
Mhm. You need to edit
So if
only
you want to
when.
edit it, yeah, if you want to edit it, just double click it. It will open as if it is open here.
Mhm.
And you can delete that one by using plus symbol. Or you can simply drag it and drop it here.
Mhm. Okay.
You can drag it and drop it here.
Okay.
Now I have a value for A as 100
Mhm.
and for X as 50.
Mhm.
Now what I will do is whatever the static value that you are going to give should
Mhm.
be in double quotes.
Mhm.
Now I will say the value I have given is the value I have given for A is,
Mhm.
okay, and then
Mhm.
add a plus symbol there,
Right.
okay, and just mention context
Mhm.
dot.
Mhm.
If you press context dot,
Mhm.
it will show you whatever you have defined. This
Okay.
is the one that you have defined.
I
And
have
the
different. Yeah.
A, you have defined A, right? That is
Mhm.
called as context dot A.
Mhm.
And you have defined X also, right? See,
Right.
this is
Mhm.
X.
Right.
So now I want to print the value of A. So I'll just double click this.
Mhm.
Is it confusing or
No, no,
clear?
it's not. No, it's clear. What my question here is, if I'm gonna use same name for a job specific context, will that get confused with the main context?
Like this?
Yeah,
You can't do that.
I can't do that. Okay.
It will show you that red symbol.
Okay, because it's already
Yeah, parameter is not
declared.
valid. Yeah,
Okay.
because it's
Okay.
already being used in some other variable.
I'm clear, clear.
Okay, so
Mm.
I'm printing the value that is given for A
Mhm.
is, I'm
Mhm.
printing this. Okay,
Right. Right.
then what I'm going to, let me run this job and see.
So I'll tell you the
Oh,
output. Output should be
mm-hmm.
the value I have given for 100 is 50.
No, no,
100
no, no. This will print as it is.
as it is. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But
Yeah,
the only
this
thing
will
not
print as it is.
okay
Okay, so now the output is going to be the value I have given for A is 100.
is 100. Right. You're right. Yeah.
Okay, that means I'm using this context variable.
Mm-hmm.
Now let me put simple X here. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
here X,
Mm-hmm.
which is being called from this context group,
Right.
which is global here. So let's see. Now it's going to be the value that I have given for X is 50.
50. Right.
That is how you call the context variables from
Okay.
here or from by defining here.
Okay.
And there is another way that you can define these values in some outside file.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and you can call it.
So we have used data types
Create.
for one, we have used a string, and for another we used the data type as integer. So can
Mhm.
string can take even integer data types?
Here we have given as string only,
Uh,
and here it has printed as string only.
okay.
If you try to add some value for it, then it will throw an error.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's what.
Okay.
So a string can
Yeah.
take a numerical value, right?
It can take, but it is read as a string only by Java.
Okay.
So how do you know that you made a mistake by selecting it string instead of int? You will come to know about that when you try to add some numeric value to it. It will say,
Right.
boss, though it is 100, I'm reading this as a string. You can't add an integer to a string. It will throw an error.
Right.
So now what I'm going to do is, now this is the one, okay. So now since we have already వచ్చేసాం కాబట్టి ఎలాగో ఫినిష్ చేసే వెళ్దాం దిస్ కంటెక్స్ట్ ని. ఇక్కడ ఏం చేస్తానంటే I'll create one text document, okay. I'll name this as simple context underscore file. ఓకే, ఇక్కడ ఏం చేస్తానంటే నేను సింపుల్ గా జెడ్ అని పెట్టి కోలన్ పెట్టి 999 ఇస్తాను. I'll save this. I will save this. ఏం చేస్తానంటే I will take one delimited input component. This component is used to read the CSV files and the text files.
Okay.
And I'll select that one, that file where I have created it. I have created on my desktop saying context file. I'll select this one, and this is a txt file. And there is no header in it, no footer. It is semicolon based. I mean semicolon separated, field separated semicolon.
Header footer ante sheet the headings.
Yeah, let us suppose ఎలా అంటే ఇప్పుడు సపోజ్ నేను ఇక్కడ పైన ఎలా ఇచ్చానంటే ఇలా ఇచ్చానంటే ఇట్స్ లైక్ ఇది వచ్చేసి కాలం కామా వాల్యూ అని ఇచ్చాను అనుకోండి.
ఓకే,
బట్ ఇట్స్ నాట్ మై ఒరిజినల్ స్టఫ్ కదా. సో నేను అలాంటప్పుడు ఏం చేస్తానంటే ఐ విల్ గివ్ హియర్ as 1. That means boss, don't consider the first line, that is the header, that is not the data. That's what I'm telling here.
Okay.
Okay, now I read this file. So for this file I'm reading this file and there is some value in it, right? So I just have to tell that component, okay, you are gonna read this column. You are gonna read 2 columns, okay, which is Z is 1. Okay, and it is holding some value in it, right? Okay, so that value I'm reading as an integer,
right?
I'll say okay. Now this component will understand, okay, that I'm getting one file to me, okay, and it is having one value in it.
Okay,
Clear?
Clear.
I don't want to discuss this now because
Yeah.
అలా కాదు, this is not the correct context I feel. Okay, we will I'll discuss this a little later. Just for now, this is the thing. ఎందుకంటే what we intended should not go out. Okay, so that is how it is, and you'll create routines here. Right click here, say routine, open another version, will open the another version of the routine. You can read the routine, you can edit the properties of it, everything is same. And edit routine libraries is something new. That means you have used some library here, okay, which is not available here. Then you can just
what is routine? I didn't get that.
no, routine is nothing but it's like a, writing a Java code and putting it in a file.
Okay,
That's a routine. Routine is nothing but it's a list, big Java code, you can say that.
Okay.
I click here and say edit routine libraries. That means you if you want to import some kind of libraries from outside, you can browse it and get them from into this job.
Okay.
So like it's like a supporting libraries jar files ఉంటాయి కదా అవి.
Okay, got it.
And the system routines you can't touch them. Okay, these are all given inbuilt one, and you can just make use of them. That's it.
Okay.
And SQL templates. SQL templates is something like you have an SQL query. You can create one SQL template. Okay, give some name X. Say finish. Okay, this is the one where you can write some query here and make use of that query in the jobs.
Okay.
You can just create the template so that they will be useful for you in the job, like routines. This
Like
is for Java and this is for SQL.
Okay, like pulling the record or inserting some record or
Exactly.
something.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
And we have metadata. We will discuss about this in the later section because it has a lot of information to cover.
Okay.
And the documentation is, you can document, the jobs. You can add
Mm-hmm.
the documentation to the jobs and all. It's like
Okay.
a conventional documentation section, I can say.
So for the job, I think in one particular place I also saw a description area where I can write about what is the job is all about.
Yeah, here the component we have
Yeah,
seen, right?
yeah, yeah. That was there.
Not this one.
Non-component. Yeah.
Yeah, documentation.
So
Yes.
this is
This
different
is
and
in
that.
the component level. This
Okay.
is at the project level or job level.
Okay. Okay.
So now if you see, you'll feel it. Okay.
Mm.
And outline parameter.
Mhm.
Okay, outline parameter I forgot to discuss. This outline parameter is like now. Now I told what Sunil knows how to walk.
Right.
That means
Mhm.
that is Sunil's function. That means this component's functionality. And I
Right.
told Sunil to walk in this way.
Mhm.
Okay. And
Mhm.
he has to climb 10 steps and he
Mhm.
has to go down 10 steps. Like
Uh-huh.
ఒక 10 మెట్లు ఎక్కాలి కొద్దిగా నడవాలి 10 మెట్లు దిగాలి.
Right.
Now once you finish this thing in the next
Mhm.
component I will ask how many
Mhm.
steps you climbed.
Mhm.
జనరల్ గా మనుషులను గుర్తుపెట్టుకోగానే కాంపోనెంట్స్ గుర్తుపెట్టుకుంటాయి. Okay, it
Okay.
will tell 10.
Mm.
That information will be used some other point for you.
Right.
Let us suppose you are processing one some one select query you have
Mhm.
executed and you got
Mhm.
100 records and you
Okay.
process them. At the end
Okay.
you will ask that component how many records you processed. It will tell
Okay.
100.
Okay.
So asking that is making use of this outline parameter.
Okay.
Now delimited చూసాం కదా ఇప్పుడు ఇక్కడ ఇలా
Mhm.
పెట్టావంటే you will
Mhm.
see you will get the outline parameters. That means this component is capable of telling you how many number of lines that it has processed,
Mhm.
how many number of lines it has processed,
Mhm.
and it will tell you the error message if in case it is not able to do its intended functionality. మీరు పదం పెట్టేటప్పుడు కింద పడ్డారనుకోండి నేను
Mhm.
చూస్తాను ఏమైందని నేను కింద పడ్డానని చెప్తారు మీరు I
Mhm.
slipped here.
Mhm.
ఎగ్జాంపుల్ సూట్ అయిందా వరస్ట్ గా ఉందా
Let's put in Arvind. So what you mean to say is the outline is the one who will take the result of the previous action, whatever happened, the job action, whatever happened, and
not the previous action, the current action.
the current action. Okay.
Yeah. So this I can say these are the characteristics of this component. To put it
Okay.
in a technical
Mhm.
way, these are the
Okay.
characteristics of this component.
Mhm.
So this component will do whatever I told it to do,
Mhm.
and in addition to that, it will provide this information.
So
So
this
as
print
soon as yeah.
option, the print job what we have created right now, it's actually printing something on a screen.
On the console,
Yeah,
on
on
the
the console.
console.
Yeah. So why outline is not telling me that you're
Outline will tell you if this component fails.
okay.
See, this TJava component is
Mhm.
capable of providing you this characteristic. But this
Okay.
characteristic will come into picture if this component gets failed.
Uh-huh.
If this
Okay.
component don't fail, it won't tell you. If I ask you once you come to me after getting 10 steps and getting
Mhm.
down 10 steps, did I ask you if you fall?
No,
What you will say? I didn't fall.
I didn't fall right.
Okay, that is the thing.
So when we are looking at the job at that time, we saw one error where it is saying like your double quotes are missing, and then we
That is the
rectify it.
compilation error. That is
Yeah.
compilation error. That is not actually allowing you into the job. So these things will be activated once
Mm-hmm.
the job actually starts its execution
Uh-huh.
without any compilation errors.
Okay. So now this error message is actually because the two print job is not connected anywhere. That's why this error messages are coming, right?
Sorry, I didn't get that.
Right now, this our job to print
Hmm.
job is not
Hmm.
connected to anything because it's a
No, no, no.
unknown.
Even if it is connected also, it will have only this characteristic. This is having one characteristic. That's it.
Okay.
If I say like T denormalize, I'll just copy this component. So this is
Mm-hmm.
the component. If you see here,
Mm-hmm.
it is having these two things. Okay.
Okay.
Now
Mm-hmm.
let us I'll try to connect because some components may not connect.
Mm-hmm.
Now if you see here, still
Mm-hmm.
it is not changed.
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So those are all the inbuilt components.
So
I mean inbuilt characteristics.
by seeing this error, we should be able to know the problems.
If you use that, and if the error occurs actually.
Okay.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So I think as we go and create further, then I will get more clarity on how
Yes,
to.
yes, yes. See, these are, just remember at this point of time, just remember this in this way.
Yeah.
Okay, outline
Mm-hmm.
tab will give you the additional characteristics of a component.
Okay.
That means it will tell you additional information about the data that it has handled during the execution.
Okay.
Okay, we will see
Yeah.
them. I'm gonna use some kind of things here so that we can use it. Yeah.
Okay. Sure.
So I'm stopping here.
Okay.
Okay. So any questions?
No, no, Gordon at all. I'm good today.
Okay. Fine
Mm-hmm.
then. Tomorrow we'll meet at 7:30. But this week, please, excuse me if there is any delay for 15 to 20 minutes.
Yeah, that's completely
Uh,
fine. Even if you cannot do also any day, it's completely fine. I'm not like the regular students what you got. So
Yeah,
just
I understand. But యాక్చువల్లీ ఏమవుతుందంటే ఆఫీస్ లో కొద్దిగా హీట్ గా ఒక ప్రాజెక్ట్ నడుస్తుంది.
okay,
సో అది ఆ, ఒక్కోసారి అదేంటంటే అబుదాబి ప్రాజెక్ట్ అన్నమాట, మిడిల్ ఈస్ట్
ఆహా,
ప్రాజెక్ట్.
ఓకే ఓకే
సో
వాళ్ళు చాలా రూడ్ గా మాట్లాడుతున్నారు.
రూడ్ గా మాట్లాడతారు. దానితో నేను ఒక పాకిస్తాన్ వాడితో డీల్ చేస్తాను.
వాళ్ళు ఇంకా రూడ్ వాళ్ళు. ఓకే.
వాడు ఎలా అంటే ఐ మీన్ మంచోడే, కానీ హీ విల్ స్పీక్ మోర్ ప్రాసెస్. అది పెద్ద ప్రాబ్లం. వాడిని కన్విన్స్ చేసి సాటిస్ఫై చేసి అది ఇది అని చెప్పి మాట్లాడితే మీ ప్రోడక్ట్ ఎంత బాగుంది అంటారు, ఇదేనా అంటాడు, చిరాకు తెప్పిస్తాడు.
ఓకే
వాడికి ప్రొఫెషనల్ వేలో అంటారు చెప్పి. సో ఇట్స్ టేకింగ్ లిటిల్ టైమ్ ఓవర్ ది మీటింగ్స్.
ఓకే.
సో ప్లీజ్ డోంట్ మైండ్ ఇఫ్ ఇట్ ఇస్ maximum I'll try to come at 7:30, if not maximum 15 minutes late.
So Gordon, I was actually trying to ping you in WhatsApp, and I think that is not the number which you're using for WhatsApp, right?
Which one are you pinging?
Because I was pinging this one, 88670228220.
That is what I'm using. That's what my WhatsApp number.
No, I'm unable to find you. Can you ping me so that we will be in sync with
Uh,
the timing?
I got to create a contact. 8867022820.
You're telling your number?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I have. 88670
Mm-hmm.
22820.
Okay. Yeah. Or else tell me your number. What is this? 044 plus
Yeah, +44
plus 44. Okay.
7393
Mm-hmm.
300
Okay.
504.
50 7393 300 504.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. So let me try to ping you here, Sunil. Okay. I'll be in
Okay.
sync with the timings. Okay.
Okay, ping me that one. Okay.
Okay. Sure.
Have a
Thank you,
nice
buddy.
day.
Take care.
Yeah.
Bye.
Take care. Bye.